everybody, and welcome to the deck tech video, where we're going to show you each and every little tiny card that's in our decks, and also go over in general what they do. In my case, I'll give you the best impression. Go ahead, Augustus. It was recently pointed out that I always go first, and I'm a terrible person because of it. At least that's what I inferred.
Or at least that's what the dice say.
No, but go ahead. I'm joking, everybody. God, he's not. I'm not. I cry.
Yeah. Okay, so this is just the time-spinning witch. I looked online at the one I want to say got first place or was in the rankings, and I just copied that and made use of like limited. I only have 3 Mosasauruses because.
Oh yeah. You don't own every card.
Yeah. I don't own every card, so I only have 3 dinosaur surfacing.
Why don't you just buy 6 boxes like I do?
It's called being poor.
What's that?
I see. No wonder I'm your friend.
It's because I sometimes rarely buy food, isn't it?
Maybe. Alright. So yeah, this is Time Spinning Witch. The cards that are not in the regular list I added on other recommendations and ideas. So the main focus is the idols and the Idol of Magic and the Angel Statue of the Tower, because at the very least, using the ruler side of the Time Spinning Witch, you pretty much get a free will every turn after you get the Angel Statue of the Tower down.
Okay.
The Idol of Magic is just like an emergency one, and also if your opponent tries to destroy target additions, like with a cleaning doll, if you had one.
Okay.
You can discard this, and then they don't get the.
Yeah, I got it.
And that costs nothing.
This is really strong because it's just free will. It's awesome.
And Time Spinning Witch produces the free time will once a turn, so I can do it once on my turn, and in one of the games, I've tapped this down when I didn't have to, and I could have pretty much had a free mana for Lorite or Fair's spell at the time.
Yeah.
There's also the Dragon Lord's Breath if you want to, or...
You'll see that in the match video, but we might not show it. Regardless. So the main strategy is the standard Time Spinning Witch strategy, right? Like time distortion, Time Spinning Witch, time distortion again, and then you Mosasaurus me to death.
Yeah, if you get the coin, the mana coin, you can, and the statue, you can technically use Dinosaur Servicing by turn 3. Which, if you get that off and they don't cancel you for some magical reason...
You don't even need the statue for it.
Yeah.
Because you can just pay the time will.
I keep forgetting that, yeah.
Yeah, but this is freaking terrifying. That is an addition that scares me.
Yes, I saw it teched like this. There was just one in the deck, but when you get it out, it's high hilarity. Because of the 5 resonators I have, they're all different races. Dinosaur, Dragon, Misty Dragon gets a +2/+2 passively.
Mm-hmm.
And Lorite, and if the Lorite 7 Disciples are out, that's an additional +2/+2 in addition to whatever Lorite gives to them.
Yeah, I would also like to point out that it also gives flying and barrier to your Mosasauruses if the Time Spinning Witch is out.
Yeah, if you J-activate the Mosasaurus and Misty, and God forbid, Lorite gets barrier.
See, you dropped that, and all I could see in front of me, like your entire board disappeared, you disappeared, and all I saw was a big old Mosasaurus with little tiny angel wings. I was like, no, please, no.
And that's also the reason why I use this. Isn't just for its pseudo bow effect, it's also 2 races as well.
Yeah.
And 2 rare races, Moon and Treasury item.
Yeah,
so that's already a +2/+2 there.
Yeah.
And it's a 1 cost, so late game you could drop a Misty and that, and suddenly it's a 4/4 to both of them.
Yeah, that's... while it can attack, it's giving the +2/+2 bonus is really relevant in certain situations. Like that, just having this, I think, is a really good tech for this deck. because you're going to have the will to spend on it, and you don't really care about dropping an addition before your deck starts to go off.
Yeah, because at first when I just like passively looked at the deck list, I saw the white and there was none in here. I'm like, how does that work? And well, there's the statues. That also means you can, in other decks, you can splash it with green or blue, the two main stone colors.
Yeah.
And have like the green-black cards, or
yeah, that's pretty neat.
Let's see. I have 2 extra keys as calls. Like even if I had 4 Lorites, I'd still have 2 keys because it's a surprise extra bit if people forget.
Yeah. Also, the draw card is really relevant when you're going up against decks that you want to play it again. So, like, if you're playing it like to stop a doll audience or to stop like a Blazer enter, versus the decks that are running those strategies, you want to have card advantage basically, because
Keys Call also helps you in ability cancel wars, like, or Lorite wars pretty much.
Yeah, the Lorite wars.
Yes. Another note is that in addition to giving barrier and flying when Time Spinning Witch is deactivated, her 0 cost to generate mana produces 2 time will. So if you have 2 statues, you're getting 2 free will a turn.
Yes.
To do whatever you want.
I'm just really happy we didn't have to do a whole game over.
Yeah.
Well, because for those who don't know.
Yeah. When you have 10 stones.
Yeah, you have to have 10 stones.
Yeah, you can't just generate the mana here. These won't help with that. When you do Judgment, restart the game with this card on this side and you go first. I wish to point out, however, that because of this statue, this side is actually worse than the J-activated one. Because the J-activated one gives 2 will, whereas this one only gives 1 will.
The J-activated is also a body.
Yes. Yeah, the only benefit you get from this besides the troll reset is draw a card, which honestly it's a blue deck.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I just love that side exists and it is never played.
Yep.
I'm gonna make it happen though at some point. I'm gonna wander in all the search for stones, and then we're just gonna play infinite games, because I'm also going to play high speed dash, so I can put her on the front and do it all over again, baby.
It's like Tree, except winnable.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
You did this, Starman. One question I have is for Dragon Lord's Breath. It's for 1 blue cost, return target resonator with total cost 3 or less to its owner's hand. Awakening for 2 time will put target resonator on the bottom of its owner's deck. Does that mean you get to target a second 3 cost resonator?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does. It ends up bouncing 1 and then putting 1 on the bottom, right?
Yes.
So it can be huge if you have like the time well floating around, or if you're on your J-roller side and you just get that ability for free. That's 2 resonators for 1 will, potentially.
And I will point out that 1 has to be a 3 cost, but the second one doesn't have a limit. So I was considering it, but I wasn't sure of the rules. I could have bounced that enormous effigy.
Yeah.
Or it would put it back on the bottom of the deck, not just bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, so I decided to forego that.
That's okay. You learn, you get better, and then you play harder.
Yeah, the Magic Stone deck is very basic. The only ones I would switch out are these 2 maybe, but
yeah,
that's only if you have a 3rd color you're more dedicated to. On that's it for my deck.
Yeah, let's go over to the wonderful Scheherazade side.
The winning side.
Haha! But anyway, Speaker of Eternal Night needs no introduction, but I'm going to anyways for new players. She has Grimoire, so I get 5 extra cards at the start of every game, and I can use her ability to reveal 1 at a time and play it. Usually you just kind of reveal them as fast as possible, because after the removal of Ruined Stories, you just don't get any extra benefit. Though holding off can sometimes be to your benefit just to have the options there. But anyway, last days, obviously, want to be able to nuke target
Keurig.
Yeah, nuke target Keurig. Or as I saw against Panda's, stop target restoration, which is horrible because I built this Panda deck that was supposed to like beat Scheherazade, and I realized that it canceled the 1 card that I put in. It was horrible. Anyway, approaching the truth. Look at the top two. Put any number on the bottom and leave any number on top. Then draw a card. Extra card advantage, and you're flipping a rune. Scarlet's Agony. Remove target attacking J Resonator from battle. Draw a card. It can stop J rulers, and it makes IU cry. Puppet's Last Days. Banish a doll to destroy Resonator. I have 1-drop dolls. Boom. Seed of Rebirth. Put a 1 cost and 2 cost from your graveyard in the field. Really good recursion. Then we have the doll lineup, which is 4 Last Audience. Your opponent must block this card if able, and your opponent must attack this card if able. And no, they cannot just they can't just skip their attack and not attack him. They have to attack him if they're able, like regardless of what their situation looks like. So even what are they? Sacred Elves end up having to swing at his face. It's beautiful sometimes, honestly. And having to block, they only have to block with 1, but doll audience, enters the field, target resonator gets +2/+2. It's just a doll that buffs a thing. There is the Viola that also gives flying, but she's not a doll, which kind of which takes away from the Puppet Maker synergy, because he is beautiful. Whenever a doll enters the field under your control, draw a card. As you saw, I drew like 3 cards at one point, and it was awesome. Of course, they were all Severy wins, but the draw card is really relevant. It lets you get card advantage over both control decks and non-control decks, and you just dominate the field by having this huge hand filled with stuff constantly. Then I have 3 Patrolling Guard dolls. It's an 800/800 that becomes an 11/11. If you have, 2 runes. 2 stories revealed. So he's the big swing. She gives all dolls quick cast. Boom. Quick cast. I should mention that her other side has 3 different abilities. She recurs a doll from the graveyard. She searches your deck for a doll, and then she bounces any non-J ruler, non-magic stone entity that your opponent controls to the top of their deck, which is super strong. But you have to have all 5 runes revealed, so it's kind of a trade-off. Next up, we have the Shade, Envoy of Darkness. Obviously, it was a card that existed before True Blade of the Spirits existed. But after True Blade came out, it lost a lot of traction just because you could explode it before it could activate its ability. It rests, banishes itself, and then deals 600 damage to target J Resonator, and then you gain 600 life. And then, if a Darkness Magic Stone enters your field, you can pay 3 Darkness and get it from your graveyard into your hand. So he recurs himself, he's beautiful, and he deals lots of damage and gains you lots of life. That 600 is relevant enough to win a game against a aggro deck. So, yeah. Then, of course, you've got the 2 power... Why I mentioned the Scheherazade search is you're usually searching for one of these. Story Speaker Eve. Put target resonator your opponent controls with total cost X or less on the bottom of its owner's deck, where X is the number of cards revealed from the extra deck. So you're usually hitting the 5 cost, putting it on the bottom of their deck. It's better than Scheherazade's put on top, just because it's getting rid of something permanently. And then you have the variant Enormous Effigy, a 13/13 doll. Whenever damage is dealt to you, this card deals that much damage to your opponent. When he's out, your opponent deals with him or dies. It's wonderful. And we're running the 2 Spicy Lorites because they stop a lot of abilities. Like if I had had a Lorite when he played Mosasaurus, I could just Lorite that Mosasaurus ability, and then I'd be like, yes, I'm okay. I'm okay.
And then I use Time Will. Use my own Lorite.
Going with the Blazers because he's Blazer. He looks at your opponent's hand, and then you can make them discard a single card of what and then he puts a +100/+100 counter on himself. So he's a 9/9 when he enters the field. Then you can remove a +100/+100 counter to remove an attacking J Resonator battling with this card, or from battle, or cancel target spell or ability targeting him. So if he gets target attacked, he can remove his attacker from battle. If he blocks, he can remove the attacking Resonator from battle. Or if they try to kill him, he can cancel that spell. He's really hard to get rid of once he hits the board, and the fact that he pulls a card out of their hand makes him makes that doubly so. Then you have the cancel lineup, 4 Severing Winds, 4 Favors Spell, and 2 Winds of Salvation. Yes, I can smell the toxicity. It's beautiful. It's just horrid. Like, Favors Spell, not too bad. If it were just Favors Spell, sure. But Severing Winds is, oh god! If your opponent played 2 or more cards, it's free. But we don't need to go into that because everybody has done that to death. It is ungodly. And then you have Winds of Salvation, remove target spell from the game. That really helps if your opponent is running something cheeky like what? Can that not be canceled?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Stop it from using its god art.
Yeah. I would also say that it's useful if they try to use like Alhama Black Lightning. You're like, oh, it can't be canceled? That's cute. Also very good versus recursion decks and things that want things in graveyard. Final Battle, 3 of, because Final Battle is very strong right now, and in the mirror match, you want to be able to get rid of their dolls. Period. It also gets rid of that.
Didn't get rid of Misty.
Oh god, that's horrible. I hate you. 2 Embrace of Darkness.
either.
I'm surprised that there's only 2 Embrace of Darkness in here because I saw both games. Like, I was drawing those like crazy. And they were relevant, especially for a game. That was nice. Destroy target resonator with total cost 3 or less. It's a less good Stoning to Death, but hey, it's relevant because Stoning to Death was bull hockey. That does it for this deck. The strategy is you drop dolls after dolls after dolls after dolls, and then when you run out of options, you flip Scheherazade and suddenly your board is filled back up with dolls. Woo! Also, Spirit Stone, for those who don't know, is a Windstone. It rests for green, and you can banish it. You don't have to rest and banish, you can just banish to draw a card. Like, it's beautiful. And what usually ends up happening is you have your Spirit Stones, and then you get to the end of a cancel war, and you go, oh please, I want to draw 1 more Severing Winds, and you just banish them all until you do. I hate it. And of course you've got the will.
Here.
The darkness and green because darkness green. Woo. Yeah, that does it for this deck. It's fantastic. That was pretty fun. I had a good time bantering back and forth. Certainly unusual compared to our normal intense battles of mind. But
can you argue with insanity?
Let us know. Do you guys like the more bantery videos, or do you like the more like serious play? Like, I'm actually curious about this. Like, goofing off videos, maybe a balance between the two would be cool. Let us know down in the comments below. But we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye! Oh, you can't see me.
I don't know how... Okay,
I don't know.
It would look this way. I assume. But I guarantee nothing.
And that's the end.